Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. What's up, everybody? I'm up in there. I'm chilling, taking it slow. How's everybody doing? I'm just relaxing, chilling, y'all. Interesting fact. Check this out, y'all. For those of y'all that don't know, they ain't been keeping up with the news. This week, the LA County sheriffs killed Teron Jamal Boone, who just happens to be the brother. Now check this out. Very interesting shit right here, y'all. Teron Jamal Boone is the brother of Robert Fuller. Robert Fuller, the dude that was found hung from the tree in Palmdale. Now, shit's really, really weird. LA County sheriffs killed Teron Jamal Boone. Teron Jamal Boone was killed in Kern County. I don't understand, but they said there was some type of pursuit where there was a crime or something. He was killed. He had a little kid in the car with him, and it was a girl in the car with him, and the girl was shot too. The girl was shot in the chest. So, kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? That's a kind of weird scenario to even take into consideration and think about, simply because of the fact that when we look at this, right, for what it is, and we try to get some understanding of some perspective of this here, so it seems like it's some weird shit going on up in the motherfucking desert. Is it me? Shit. You know, and I'm the type of person that, you know, I'm a clear-minded thinker. So, you know, remember what I told y'all before, that whoever controls the narrative drives the story. So the interesting part of that to me basically is the fact that, you know what I mean, what was it? I mean, I'm not going to be no conspiracy theorist or nothing like that. The actual story that came out, when the story came out, the way the story went when it came out, basically they just said that he opened fire on the sheriffs. I don't know how that works. I don't know the story or the rest of that and none of that shit there. But they said that he opened fire on the sheriff's department, on the sheriffs. The sheriffs, I guess, was on his bumper. And they was on him for some kind of crime or something that was committed. I don't know. A lot of this here is a vague story that's being told. So the story's kind of tripped. You know, excuse me, y'all, I'm messing with my cameras. Every time I can't really see my cameras until I sit down and I start looking. But yeah, they the way they tell the story though, they said that he was he opened fire on the sheriff's department. The sheriff's department opened fire back and they killed him. In the news, they played just the audio and it was crazy. It sounded like a fucking war. It was gunshots. And I was like, damn, that shit sounded crazy as a motherfucker, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Okay, y'all support my content. Like, subscribe, share, follow Mad Ronald Radio on YouTube. MadRonaldRadio.net. That's the website for the podcast. MadRonaldRadio.net for the podcast. Support MadRonaldRadio.net for the podcast. Mad Ronald Radio Network podcast on Facebook. You can also find Mad Ronald Radio Network on most podcast on all your major podcast platforms: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, TuneIn, Stitcher. All those platforms, you can actually find the Mad Ronald Radio Network on those platforms. But anyway, though, like I was about to say, though, you know what I mean? It's a very interesting situation on what took place with the dude that was killed. And I'm like, wow, because of the fact that I'm trying to figure out if there's some kind of conspiracy theory, or there's some kind of conspiracy to this shit or what. How in the world did the brother could end up found hung from a fucking tree one week, and the other brother ends up in a shootout with the police the following week and gets killed? That sounds like some crazy shit. There's some shit going on up in that motherfucking desert. I don't know what it is, but there is some shit going on in that motherfucking desert. And I'm gonna tell you all that now. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, you know what I mean? It's just an interesting situation, I guess. You know what I mean? I'm feeling a whole lot better, y'all. I'm sitting here. Shit. I'm recovering. The COVID-19 had me fucked up, and I ain't gonna lie to y'all. That shit had me fucked up. But they gave me a drug. They got this drug that some of y'all ain't familiar with. It's called remdesivir. And what remdesivir is that remdesivir is the Ebola drug. When they had the Ebola outbreak, that's what people were taking. They were taking remdesivir. So you know what I mean? It's like remdesivir it works. I was reading about it, and they were talking about the recovery and all that stuff there, and the recovery time on it is really good. I mean, to be realistic with you, I myself personally am like, damn, because of the fact that, I mean, shit, it actually saved my life. I'm sitting here like this right now, right? And I'm full of life. And let me tell y'all something, and I bullshit you not. Anybody who saw the video that I posted on Facebook last week, when I was in the hospital bed and I was hooked up on the oxygen machine, and the motherfuckers had IVs all in me, you know what I mean? You know, and I no exaggeration, my ass was fighting with death at that point in time. You know what I mean? The COVID-19 is serious. And I'm telling everybody to educate yourselves on this here. Take all precautions. Beware. Be conscious. Because that shit is real. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. People be talking that talk. Well, it ain't gonna affect me. It ain't this, it ain't that. Let me tell you something. If it got me, it can get anybody. Because I'm a street dude. And I'm a regular old motherfucker. I ain't like it ain't like I'm around a bunch of people. You know what I'm saying? And if you ask me, I'm gonna tell you the shit's in the air. You know what I mean? So it's really interesting to me because of the fact that when I'm getting down to it and I'm looking at it, I don't even know how I got exposed, but I'm thankful because of the fact that I found myself in a position a couple of weeks ago where my ass was practically dead from this shit. And that shit brought me back. That remdesivir, it literally brought me back. And it's a trip when you go up in them hospitals and you see what's going on in them hospitals. There's people dying up in them hospitals every fucking day from COVID-19. This shit is nothing to play with, and I'm telling y'all that because of the fact that people need to have the information. I mean, I drive, I see motherfuckers out in the streets out there still smoking weed, still passing blunts, drinking out the same cups. Man, let me tell y'all something, man. That shit ain't no good, man. And I'm telling you the truth. And I'm telling y'all that because the information is vital. And the information is so vital that you just don't know because of the fact that, shit, when you find yourself sitting up in that hospital and you're fighting it, that's another story. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like I said, that's a whole nother story. You know what I mean? I don't see no comments on Facebook. I can see there are viewers on Facebook, but I don't see no comments. Facebook, what's up? I see y'all watching me, but I don't see nobody saying nothing. What's going on, man? I see Facebook, you know what I mean? But I don't hear it. Ain't no noise coming from Facebook. What's going on, man? What's the deal out there, man? Is it Friday night? Is everybody going out to the club or what? Shit, I see y'all. I'm trying to figure out what the deal is. What's going on with y'all? But anyway, like I was saying to y'all, man, you know what I'm saying? It's a trip, man. You know what I mean? I'm thankful. Once again, thank you to everybody for your well wishes. You know, I'm truly appreciative of all that there. And then at the same time, you know what I mean? I'm like, just thankful for shit to be here. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that actually took the time out to wish me well, to pray for me, to all that shit there. I appreciate y'all. Thank you. I need every bit of that shit there. Believe me, it's been a motherfucking rough journey. Oh shit. But at the same time, you know what I mean? I can't do nothing but be appreciative. because of the fact that, like I say, you know what I mean. It's bad. If they just have an understanding of what it's been like, is they have an understanding of what it is like. You see what I'm saying? The thing about it, who is that signed in? Mr. Real Right on Instagram. What's up, homie? I can see y'all. I see y'all out there. Who is that? Jacobots on Instagram. Jacobots. Is there Crips and Blood March going on tomorrow? Not to my knowledge. We're in LA. We ain't out there like that, man. Don't think it's all like that in LA, man. It ain't like that in LA. They not we ain't out there trucing a peace and no shit like that out here, man. It ain't nothing like that in LA, man. We ain't out there trucing a peace and no shit like that there. And I don't say that because I'm against it or nothing like that. But the thing in Los Angeles is that we so territorial. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Jacobatzi. I'm here in LA. What part of LA you in? What part of LA are you in? Because I ain't heard nothing about no Crips and but this and I don't go to all of that myself, because I'm gonna tell you something about me when it comes to all that there, man. I don't do that shit for it. They do that shit for a day and then they be shooting each other the next day. I'm not with that. If we're gonna do it, we're gonna go 100%. We're gonna be 100%. You know what I mean? And where we at doing what we do and standing down. Tyrone Bird said, "What's up, Big Ron? What's up, Tyrone Bird?" Dizzy Brim said, "What's Bracken? What's up, Dizzy Brim? What it be?" Vicky Young said, "Hey, you, how are you feeling?" I'm feeling good as a motherfucker right now. I'm still recovering. You know what I mean? I still got pneumonia. I still have pneumonia, but you know what I mean? I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm just recovering. I ain't doing too much. You know what I'm saying? Ain't trying to do too much. Relaxing, taking it slow. You know what I mean? And shit, you know what I mean? There was they said 10 days ago, Kev Mack said there was a march going down on the 20th. I don't know nothing about no march going down on the 20th, man. I don't know. Ain't nobody said shit to me. I don't be going all of that, man. I don't go to all the marches, because the thing about that shit be that when you go to that shit, I'm not with the photo ops and shit. Everybody to come out and take a picture and go back in. These motherfuckers start shooting each other again. If we gonna do it, we gonna do it. And it don't take a march. See, the thing about me is, homie, I'm a representative for my community. I'm a representative for my neighborhood. When we get to the table and start talking about realization, about being civil, and about, you know what I mean, real intervention and peace, then I show up. When we can get to the table, when I get to the table with the leaders, the real representatives, the real dudes that got control in the hood, I don't be out there on the line with all the dudes that just show up just for the march, because of the fact that when we start doing that type of shit there, we get along today. I'm gonna give you a fine example of that, right? This is a fine example. I want you to backtrack to when Nipsey Hussle died, right? And all them Bloods and Crips came together and was marching in the 60s for peace and all that shit there, right? And I want you to do a timeline from then until now. How many motherfucking Bloods and Crips have been killed since that time? And you see what I'm talking about. Because motherfuckers are shooting each other. The day they had Nipsey Hussle, the day of his funeral, when they was driving his body down Century, it was some motherfuckers out there that got shot that was out there to see his body, out there to see him drive by the procession. You know what I mean? So I don't be going to all that shit there like that. I'm like this here with it, man. I got to keep it real. You know what I mean? I'm like, if we go now, this is me. I'm one of these people here. I don't sit in the front, and I don't sit in the front, and I don't be all out there because they there. When I show up, if I'm gonna be there, we can go and shut the door and start negotiations and non-aggressive agreements and start coming down with some real shit that's worth something, rather than for all these photo ops. Because I don't want to pass along a false narrative. And I tell people this all the time. I told my young homies this before, because they got misconstrued with the last time when everybody was out there when Nipsey Hussle died. And I told my young homies, I said, look, Ain't no motherfucking truce. Ain't no peace treaty. Don't be confused by this bullshit. And when I say it like that, I mean that because people will get confused and think that there's something that's going on that's not, and fuck around and find themselves in a death-defying situation where they in the wrong neighborhood. That's like when Nipsey Hussle died and that motherfucker seen me and was talking about, man, let's go. I want to go to Nipsey's store. I told him, fuck you, I'm not going down there. And it's not no disrespect for me not going down there. I ain't going down there because that ain't my neighborhood. I understand. I'm from LA. I understand the boundaries of LA. At the same time, I'm not in LA trying to be everywhere. You understand what I'm saying? Because of the fact that a motherfucker will shoot motherfuckers in LA, and I understand that. I'm a trophy in Los Angeles, so I really got to be conscious and cautious of that there. But at the same time, I don't go to all the marches and shit and all that other shit. You know what I mean? Because like I say, you know, I'm someone that, you know what I mean. I'm a representative. So when we start talking and we really talking about the Bloods and the Crips, then I'm the one that's got to be in the room with them. I'm the one that got to be in there when the door gets shut. When we really start sitting down talking about delegating on behalf of our communities and what we need to do that's best for our communities and the preservation of life within our communities. These are the things that we need to be discussing and working on and building on. I can't go to a march and call it a peace march if there's no understanding. Just because we all show up on the street corner, there's no understanding because of the fact that with this moment we civil. But then at the same time, when it's all over, we doing drive-bys on each other. So you know what I mean? I got a serious, and I have a serious thing about that because of the fact that myself personally, I am an interventionist. I'm an intervention worker. So you know what I mean? I'm one of the motherfuckers. I might be one of the most hated and one of the most loved at the same time. Simply because of the fact of the way that I delegate. You know what I mean? Dino007 on Instagram. What's up, Dino? I see you, man. I see you, man. Don't you got somewhere to be right now? You should be at work right now driving a motherfucking truck or something, I think. It's 10:53, man. You better get to work. You ain't gonna get no paycheck. I think it's payday, too, if I'm not mistaken. When I worked there, we got paid on Fridays. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, y'all, but it's I myself personally, though, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm down with the peace movement. I'm peace. I'm interventionist like a motherfucker. I'm talking about that's why I say like me when we speak of peace. I'm down with the peace movement. I'm one of them type of people that's sitting back figuring out means and ways of delegation, politics, and diplomacy in order to try to move things forward to try to prevent the killing of black people by black people especially. Because when we get into this shit, we stand alone, and that's the bad thing about that shit. Because when we come to a great realization, y'all, we stand alone. I don't give a fuck what set you from. We stand alone. I don't. Now, this ain't nothing disrespectful, but that's why I don't drive the narrative of black and brown. And I don't drive the narrative of black and brown because inside of Los Angeles, shit is so fucked up that you can go to parts of LA and the Mexicans hate blacks. You see what I'm saying? So I don't drive that narrative because in order for me to drive that narrative, we all got to be 100%. I can't be halfway and halfway. Because don't get me wrong, though, I love the Mexicans. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in LA. I grew up with them. The ones on the west side, the ones in my neighborhood, I love them. I love them. Shit, we all grew up together. I know their families like they know my families. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you know what I mean? I don't drive the narrative of black and brown because of the fact that, like I said, one of the things about driving that narrative is that I can't drive it if the Mexicans are trying to kill blacks also. And that's going on in a lot of places. And not on no gang situation type of shit, on some motherfucking racist type of shit. So I myself personally, the way I am and the way I believe and things that I think, you know what I'm saying? I believe that us ourselves as a people got to start trying to find our means and our way. And that's one of our problems. We got to start trying to find our means and our way. We're too busy trying to find allies. See what I'm saying? If we ourselves did what we need to do to be as one, to have an understanding of what we need to do to be as one, I'm going to share with y'all a great point of what I mean by that. The first point to us all getting along, listen to this, y'all. Don't switch out now because the shit finna get good. The first point to us all getting along is us learn to leave each other the fuck alone. If we can learn to leave each other alone, not shoot at each other, not bang on each other, not be in each other's neighborhoods, wreaking havoc, writing on the walls, victimizing each other. If we could just leave each other alone, y'all stay there and we stay here, shit would be a lot better. You see what I'm saying? And that's a reality, because don't forget something. Black motherfuckers are the most hated, most hunted, and most wanted motherfuckers on the face of this earth. But this is what you can't forget. We are most hated, most hunted, and most wanted by each other before anybody else. See, that self-hatred kicks in, and the first thing we want to do is kill another black motherfucker. But the point I'm making to you is that within all of this here, y'all, we got to have a greater reality than that there, because that greater reality has to be something that we can stand on, something that we ourselves can unify on. Somewhere through here, we got to seek the solidarity that it takes in order for us to survive and exist as a people in general, not as Bloods, not as Crips, but as people in general. One of the things that I understand that a lot of people that are viewing me right now, a lot of y'all viewing me right now, and this is an interesting aspect, a lot of y'all ain't never seen black people. And when I say that, because all you've ever been exposed to was Bloods and Crips in the Bloods and Crip era that you grew up in and were born into. It's a difference because I was born in the 1960s. So I was born at a time when black people stuck together and it was another movement. But considering the movement that we're in right now, it's so confusing that people think they're involved in something, but you ain't got a movement unless you got input. You ain't got a movement unless you had the opportunity to sit at the table, input your ideas, make your contribution, and then work towards, you know what I'm saying, trying to manifest that and make it become a reality. That's what you got. That's what you should be working for. You understand what I mean? And I got to give a shout out to everybody in behind the wall. If you in prison watching me, you in a county motherfucking jail, I don't give a fuck where you at. Shout out to you. Everybody behind the wall doing time. I know what it's like. I've been in that motherfucker on a Friday night, wishing like a motherfucker that I was out. Hard time is stressed the fuck out. Wishing I could be out doing what I do with whoever I'll be doing it with. So if you in the prison, shout out to every motherfucking body that's watching me in prison that will be watching me from prison. Shout out to everybody in the county jail. Shout out to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Love and respect everybody. I don't give a fuck, Blood, Crip, whatever you are. You see what I'm saying? Much love and respect to you all. And remember something, y'all. If you sitting back behind the motherfucking wall right now, if you sitting back behind the wall and you hear me in the morning, afternoon, you get this on the repost, you get this on the podcast, something I want y'all to do. I want y'all to remember something. Your motherfucking present don't define your future. So don't allow anybody to tell you, just because of the fact that you might be behind the wall, locked up in county jail, wherever you at right this moment, don't allow a motherfucker to dictate to you that dictates your future, because of the fact that the present don't define the future. You looking at a motherfucker that been in prison 5 times. The motherfucker told me I would live and die in prison. You understand what I'm saying? First time I went to the pen was 1987. Last time I got out of prison was 2008. So you see what I'm saying? And that's why I say that to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody, because of the fact that we living in a space right now, man, where we got to have some understanding that we got to help our people to reprogram their state of mind in the way that they think. Because the fact that when people go to jail, you get bullshit in your head and you get people in your head that make you believe that that's the place to be, but it's really not. When you look at what's going on in jail, ain't shit there. You understand what I mean? It's just time. You just aging like a motherfucker. You're a hamster on a wheel. So you can't lose that time and lose your frame of thought and your mind state along with all that other extra shit, because of the fact that you'll be stuck in one place and never move. You know, the track ain't nothing but a big ass wheel. And that's like for the hamster, and you the hamster. You just walking for miles and miles and years, and your ass ain't went nowhere. Jacobazzi said, my cousin in jail in Georgia told me a lot of cats claim 20s NHB out there. Yeah, there's 20s NHB in Georgia. 20s NHB is deep in Georgia. But like I say to y'all, you know what I'm saying? Like I say, man, we're in a situation, man, where, you know what I mean, we need love and unity, man. It's very important. That's something that's needed. You see what I'm saying? But Today is Juneteenth, and that's interesting. Yeah, anybody don't know about Juneteenth? June 19th. Okay, June 19th, 1865. I think they freed the slaves actually in 1863, around that time, but it took 2 years before they got to Texas and realized the slaves and excuse me, the enslaved descendants of the descendants of the enslaved Africans. I don't like to say slaves. The descendants of the enslaved Africans in Texas. It took 2 years before they were notified that slavery had been abolished and the Emancipation Proclamation had been enacted. That's very interesting. Within the climate that we're living in with this Black Lives Matter and you know what I mean, all this racism and hangings and shit like that there, it's really interesting that we enter a space where we got Juneteenth also to be observed in here because of the fact that it's just funny. You know, black people standing up and that black people speaking. You know what I mean? I think that's a wonderful situation because of the fact that our voices need to be heard in any means, any way. I don't give a fuck if you're carrying a sign. I don't give a fuck if you're carrying a club. I don't give a fuck what you're carrying. Any means in any way your voice can be heard, it should be heard. And the beautiful thing about social media is the fact that it grants us the opportunity to be able to put our voices out there and deliver our messages. I try my best to be able to deliver a message, something that can be somewhat constructive and productive because of the fact that I know the value of words. See, when I go on social media, I'm not happy with what I see on social media. And I'm gonna be real with y'all. I might be judgmental. You see what I'm saying? I'm not happy with what I see on social media because when I go on social media, I don't see nothing but a bunch of buffoonery. I see motherfuckers sitting on social media, just sitting there blowing motherfucking clouds of smoke, or clouds of weed smoke all over the goddamn place. Motherfuckers fighting on social media. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers talking shit, acting bad, flashing guns and shit like that. And this is the thing that displeases me though when I look at social media. The most displeasing thing to me with social media is the fact that people don't realize you have a platform and a voice, but you might complain about the conditions of shit that's going on where you're at. You have the availability to reach out to the world, and the world will listen. But the world can't hear your voice if you got a fucking blunt stuffed in your mouth and your ass is blowing smoke all over the place. If you sitting there talking shit about the next motherfucker, if you sitting there waving guns around and waiting for the police to kick your door in. You see what I'm saying? But the reality of this is that it's a beautiful thing to have the ability to be able to share your voice. You know what I'm saying? Once again, y'all, like I said, support my platforms. Support www.madronaldradio.net. Support on Facebook, Mad Ronald Radio Network Podcast on Facebook. Support on YouTube, Mad Ronald Radio Vision. Support on Instagram, Mad_Ronald_Rolling. You understand what I'm saying? And you find me on all them there. You know what I mean? I should have put my Cash App on the motherfucker. Now, what is it? Anthony Clark said, oh shit, the mentality that them portray, LOL. The mentality of who? I don't understand. I didn't understand that what you said, the mentality of who? I didn't understand that one at Anthony Clark over on Facebook. But yeah, back to the conversation, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Free from bondage. We have to be. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell y'all something, and don't ever forget this shit. Just because of the fact that they say that we was free at Juneteenth, we wasn't free. Motherfuckers are slaves right now. The motherfucking psychological bondage that exists right now that hold motherfuckers down, that enslaves motherfuckers. The motherfuckers right now. I'm gonna prove right to this moment. 90% of y'all watching me right now are slaves. Because 90% of you motherfuckers don't even consider yourself to be dignified black people. You can't get through the day without considering you or the person next to you or the next black motherfucker to be a nigga. So what did that tell you? This is a word that the white people put upon you as a means of degradation. Ain't no reclaiming no shit like that there, because you can't reclaim it from all those black souls that hung from those trees that were called niggas, and those were the last words that they heard. But at the same time, you take pride in the fact to call yourself a nigga or call the next black man nigga, and you demonstrate your self-hatred and project it and reflect it on him. You are not free. So don't fool yourself and think you are. And I want you to sit back and analyze that. And when the next time you say nigga to another black person, think about that. That's realism. King Anden said, how can you stop that? How can you stop that, homie? That's why this is a losing battle, blood. What? How can you stop what? King Anden over on Instagram. How can you stop what? You said that's why it's a losing battle. What? Explain to me. Give me some insight. What do we want to stop? Are we talking about the self-hatred or what? Because of the fact that, like I say, you know what I mean? One of the biggest things and most important things is education, information. Take the time out to teach and educate, because of the fact that the young people need it, because of the fact that somebody got to be able to give them some guidance and guide them away from the ignorance and the bullshit. The ignorance and the bullshit will drive you into your grave, will drive you into the prisons. I speak like that because you're talking to one of the most ignorant motherfuckers on the face of the earth. And when I say that, I mean that. You're talking to one of the most ignorant motherfuckers on the face of the earth. It was a time when Mad Ronald was one of the most ignorant motherfuckers you ever wanted to meet, and you might not want to cross my path. You see what I'm saying? King answered, stop social media bullshit. The way to stop the social media bullshit is for everybody to understand the importance of their words and the importance of their platforms. When we look at this, right? King Anden, excuse me, I don't mean to mess your name up. King Anden over on Instagram. I'm on 3 platforms right now, so that's why y'all hear me calling off the platforms. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, and at the same time, I'm on YouTube. But at the same time, like I was saying, King Anden, the social media thing, the only person that can stop that is them. And the thing about social media is this here. Understand the power of your voice. Understand the information that you have access to. Understand that there are people that are going to look and that are going to listen. See, to understand that is to understand I can't control the next person's platform, but I control the information that I put out. And if I'm going to put the information out, and I want you to tune in to me, I don't want you to tune in to me for no buffoonery. I don't want you to tune in to me for no bullshit. I don't want you to tune in to me because I'm making a mockery out of myself and I'm putting other people down. I want you to tune in to me because of the fact that you have the opportunity to learn something. You see what I'm saying? Because all lessons are not taught directly. A lot of them are taught indirectly. So I want people to be able to take the opportunity and take advantage of what they can learn from me, because I'm going to give you the opportunity and the chance to grow. I want you to grow. You see what I'm saying? 99.9% of social media is hatred. It's motherfuckers that wish to see you at your worst. It's motherfuckers projecting images of them at their best when they doing that, when they at their worst. And shit, it ain't nothing wrong with doing bad, but you can't tell a motherfucker that when they looking at motherfucking Instagram. You see what I'm saying? Facebook, YouTube, whatever you're looking at. But the point I'm making when I say all that is simple. The point I'm making when I say all that was this here. You have the ability to control your platform. And what you put out on your platform is important. For all the people that watch these platforms, you have the ability to be able to build, to mold, and to create. The human mind is a substance that is always seeking knowledge because it thirsts. Take advantage of those opportunities and fill that need for thirst and knowledge. People need to be fed something. And the thing about it is that, you don't have to be a scholar. You ain't got to be somebody who went to school, but you might have to be somebody with a good message. I mean, and the message is interesting, man, because life itself is writing this. The history of life writes itself every day, man. We ain't even got to write it, man. You know what I mean? It's so interesting to me, man. You know what I mean? I always say the world needs to be full. If we all took our time and made a small contribution to do something good, can you imagine how big that would be? Think about that. If we all took our time to do something good, just something small, can you imagine how big that would be? The world would be another place. We live in a space where everybody in the world wishes to see everybody else doing bad. You see what I'm saying? The world that I live in, the space I choose to occupy is a selfless space. And that's why when I look at the world for what it truly is, you know what I mean? I'm myself personally, you see the way I speak. I don't have all that hatred within me. When I'm that way because I used to be hateful. When I was gang banging, I was hateful. I hated motherfuckers for reasons that I can't even explain. I hated motherfuckers because they wore certain colors. You see what I'm saying? It's just so interesting. You know what I mean? The world, man, is something different. There ain't no room for that. The world is filled with so much good shit that if you yourself waste your time, effort, and energy and worry with hatred, you missing some shit, man. And I'm telling you the honest to God truth, man. I mean, I'm a motherfucker as a survivor. I done been through so much shit that it's ridiculous. I've been to prison 5 times, been shot, been stabbed, been beat like a motherfucker, been through it all. Been just went head the fuck up with COVID-19 and survived. Shit, I'm a COVID-19 survivor within the last 2 motherfucking weeks, and I came up out of that shit alive. The world is not a bad place. When I think about this here, you know what I mean? And I mean, it's a total reality shit. And some of y'all watching me, sending me y'all well wishes, prayers, and support. And let me tell you some realism. The world is not a bad place. When we look at it and we think about it and we get down to it, the world is beautiful. Because of the fact that if a motherfucker think about it, at one point in time, I'm laying in a motherfucking bed and I'm fighting for my life. I'm laying in a motherfucking bed in a goddamn unit that look like motherfucking Outbreak, that movie Outbreak, where the doctors come to see me and they got on fucking containment suits and shit. And I'm laying in a motherfucking space where everybody up and motherfuckers would think we radioactive. They would think COVID-19 is radioactive the way that shit look. But the point I'm making is that when I say all that, last week I was in a position where my ass couldn't even roll over in the bed. My back was hurting me all fucking night. For like three good nights. My back was killing me. I couldn't even roll over because my oxygen level was so low. I tried to sit up on the edge of the motherfucking bed and I'm damn near falling out. They got to come in there and give me emergency oxygen, put a mask over me. I'm living on a motherfucking breathing machine, y'all. This is last week. Shit. I went to the hospital on the 2nd. I think I got out around 12th, if I'm not mistaken. 12th or the 13th, some shit like that. But the point I'm making to you that this is all last week. This ain't no, you understand what I mean? Life is beautiful as a motherfucker. Shit. Talk to a motherfucker like me. I would talk to a motherfucker like me that was dying. Talk to a motherfucker like me that had a COVID. I had a COVID-19 episode where I fucked around and my lungs was collapsing. And now, you don't even know what that feel like, but I'm telling you right now, you don't want to know what the fuck it feel like. Because you don't want to know what it feel like if you feel like a goddamn fish out of water, gasping for your motherfucking breath, trying to catch up with your motherfucking breath. You see what I'm saying? You seeing shit, having visions and shit because the motherfucker can't breathe. You having visions of dead motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the world's crazy, but it's beautiful, man. And I woke up, man. When I wake up in the morning, and I might be on some other shit. I might be going through some shit, but you know what I mean? I'm reflecting right now. And I'm reflecting simply because of the fact that, I mean, the world ain't a bad place, man. You know, the world is beautiful as a motherfucker as long as we take it to be that. You see what I'm saying? And that's a true reality right there, man, because of the fact that when we look at the world for what it is, hey, man, be thankful in this motherfucker, man. You woke up this morning, man. A lot of people didn't, man. I was in the hospital, man, on the floor, man. The people who had COVID-19, man, they was up in that motherfucker dying. They were dying, literally fucking dying. If you watch the news, you see the statistics. Motherfuckers are dying every day, dropping dead from COVID-19, man. I'm right now, man. I got a mother. I'm not contagious because I was under a doctor's care and I received all the latest medicines and treatments and shit, you know, and I was treated with remdesivir. I was treated with remdesivir, which I said before, the Ebola vaccine, and that shit worked on me. It don't work on everybody, but the thing about that is this here. It's some people that shit wasn't working on. There's some people that's dropped. It was people that died from the shit. So my thing is that knowing the severity of coronavirus and having had a motherfucking coronavirus had a attack, having lost my motherfucking breath. Then the hospital, I went to the hospital, and when I was in the hospital, my temperature was 100.5. That was my temperature, 100.5. My oxygen level was down to 40%. I went into the hospital, and I just went for a COVID-19 test. Them motherfuckers brought a bed out and told me, we can't let you leave. You're going to have a major stroke or a seizure. You know what I'm saying? King Alden said, homie, I applaud you for trying to make a difference, but we are our own worst enemy. We were placed in position because of our own people. We continue to fuck over each other. Well, I don't know if you are as old as I am, because if you're not, you don't even have an understanding. You're in your mind, you believe that because you place yourself in the space where that's what's going on every day. See, let me explain. I'm gonna give you some realism right now. And this is the real. The real is that the only reason we end up in these fucked up spaces is because we've traveled to these spaces every day. Anywhere that you find yourself in the world, at one point in time, you made an appointment to be there. See, when I was young, I grew up gangbanging. I grew up in the fucking war zone. I've been over 300 funerals. I'm talking about, you want to talk about fucked up? I've been over 300 fucking funerals. I've seen so many of my friends buried, dead, in the fucking street, waiting on the corner with the white sheet over them. I've seen so many of my motherfucking friends, and I've been over 300 fucking funerals. Can you imagine? When I grew up, I thought that we were doomed. I thought it was my destiny to die in the motherfucking street. Ain't nobody would have told me that I would live to be old as I am right now. Ain't nobody told me I'll be somebody's fucking father or somebody's grandfather. Nobody told me no shit like that. But the thing about it is, I had the opportunities and the choices always to get the fuck up and go somewhere else. But I chose to be where I was at. It wasn't that the world was fucked up. It's that I made fucked up choices to be in a fucked up space where there was fucked up shit happening, and there were fucked up people there. See, that's the thing. Because you have the ability, the greatest thing that the human being has the ability to do is change. So if you're in a space where the world is that way, what you're telling me is you might need to go check into another space where something else happening at. That's what you might need to do. Because of the fact that, like I say, man, the world ain't fucked up, homie. You don't know what fucked up is, homie. If you ain't been to prison 5 times, it's been over 300 funerals, man. Watch some of your best fucking friends while they lay in the motherfucking street, while the coroner sits there and flips their bodies over while they taking pictures of them, and you just sitting there hanging out with them smoking weed or whatever. If you ain't ever experienced that shit, I've done it so much it's like a fucking bad dream. I've seen it so much it's like a fucking nightmare. And I'm being real with you. And I say this because of the fact that this is the way that the world works and this is the way that the world is. I myself personally, I look at the world today, I'm thankful as a motherfucker. The world ain't fucked up to me. You know why? Because I got away from them fucked up people. I'm in my space. I'm in control of the space that I'm in. So therefore, that means can't nobody control what goes on in my space. I'm 100% in control of what's going on around me. That means a whole lot right there. If I get shot, I understand I'm in a space where motherfuckers got guns at. I understand that I'm in a space where a motherfucker will see me and come back and shoot me at. If I go to jail, I understand that I'm in a space where motherfuckers are doing shit that I could also be arrested for. See, I'm not going to sit up and place the blame on anyone but myself because I have to assume accountability. Accountability is everything. And I tell you that because of the fact that to have an understanding of it is that is going on in the space that you're in. The universe will give you what you put out. Whatever energy you project into the world will come back to you. I don't worry about how fucked up the world is because I'm looking for the good shit every day. You see what I'm saying? I'm in this world we living in, and like I said before, unless you are old as me, you don't know what the fuck fucked up is. You don't know what it's like to walk out your front door every fucking day, and there's some gang related shit going on your doorstep. Motherfuckers getting shot on a daily fucking basis. And when I say that, I'm talking about the 20s and the 30s and the 20s and the 30s. I'm talking about a motherfucking gang war at its height for over fucking. I'm talking about right now, it's still going down, but it ain't bad as it used to be. But I'm going to tell you like this here. But somewhere between 1978 and motherfucking, what is this, 2009, we talking about the height of the motherfucking gang war every motherfucking day. We talking about a shooting. We talking about a killing. We talking about somebody getting fucked up. And for each action, there's a reaction. And for every reaction, there's retaliation. This is the shit that was going on. You see what I'm saying? There were more motherfuckers killed in Los Angeles due to gang violence than there were killed in Vietnam. You see what I'm saying? And I'm going to tell y'all like this. That's why I say that the world is beautiful. That's why I, myself personally, as long as motherfuckers ain't dying around me like they were when I was growing up, I have no complaints about what the fuck is going on in the world. Because of the fact that I remember when motherfuckers was getting murdered. I got a homeboy literally that was fucking chopped to bits. I got a homeboy that he was chopped up so bad that they found his body in motherfucking trash bags. You see what I'm saying? I mean, if life ain't like that, life is good as a motherfucker. And I'm gonna tell you like that. When you wake up in the morning, if you woke up, you free, in a sound state of mind, and you got and at the same time, you got a means and a way to get up and just live a functional life, be happy, man. Ain't nothing fucked up about this life. You know what I mean? Life is what you make it, and life is what you think. You manifest your thoughts into a reality because of the fact that the way that you think becomes your reality. Life ain't nothing fucked up about this life, man. I don't give a fuck what nobody say, man. If you ain't in that prison cell, life is beautiful. And if you in the prison cell, the shit ain't that bad because you're going to get out one day. I don't give a fuck if you're doing life. I know motherfuckers that done 30 or 35 years is out right now, living like they never left. And the point I'm making when I say all that to you is that, you know, the greater reality to this here is to have an understanding of the fact that life itself, man, is something that a motherfucker got to appreciate, man. There's motherfuckers out here starving, living in tents, man. I don't know if y'all familiar with Los Angeles, man. But there's motherfuckers out here living in motherfucking tents on the side of the freeway in the middle of the sidewalks and shit. There's motherfuckers out there sleeping on bus stops. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't in them spaces, be happy in this shit, man. Life is beautiful as a motherfucker, man. You know, that's why I say, man, 2 weeks ago, my ass was in a motherfucking hospital fighting COVID-19, man. Y'all know I've been talking about COVID-19 ever since I've been live streaming. But I know you could have never told me that I'd be in a hospital fighting COVID-19. That shit COVID-19 damn near killed me. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, thank God for modern medicine and science. Because of the fact that that's the shit that brought me back, and that's the shit that made me bounce back like I am right now. But the bigger picture to this is that keep in mind the fact that I'm a motherfucker who was damn near dead a week ago. If I could trade places with any motherfucker that's up here walking around, I was in a space where last week when I couldn't move and I was in that bed, my ass was in there fighting pneumonia with a 105-degree temperature. I might have been ready to trade places with a motherfucker that could get up, walk, and talk, just living in a cardboard box on the fucking street corner. And that's some real shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like I say, man, this is a beautiful thing, man. I'm just me. L-Dub, what's up, homie? He said, ain't nothing fucked up about this life. Wouldn't trade it for the world. Every day is my birthday. That's right, man. Hey, homie, I'm like that, man. Hey, L-Dub, you know, I just told y'all seen that video of me, man, when I was in the hospital, man. I was so fucked up, man. I was living on a breathing machine, man. You couldn't have told me last week that I'd be sitting here like this here. You couldn't have told me when I couldn't sit up on the edge of the motherfucking bed, man. I'm in this motherfucker damn near crying for oxygen, that I'll be sitting here like this week, man. I'm thankful as a motherfucker, man, and I gotta be thankful, man. The world is so motherfucking beautiful, man. When I woke up, man, when I got out of the hospital, man, I woke up the following morning, man. I was kind of fucked up. But about 2 days later, man, I got up, man, and went to the car wash and washed my truck, man, and I was just amazed at the world, man, because of the fact that I'm looking at the problems and shit. And I'm saying I ain't got a problem in the world compared to when I was sitting in that motherfucking hospital, man. You ain't got a problem in the world, man. Do you think about if you're going to live or die? And I'm being real as a motherfucker, man. That coronavirus, man, COVID-19 ain't nothing to fuck with. That shit is real, man. I'm telling y'all this shit, man. And I'm for real as a motherfucker, man. A motherfucker don't understand, man. This shit here, man, you better love this life. You only get one of these motherfuckers, man. A cat get 9, they say. You only got one. You better love this motherfucker and love every motherfucker attached to you in it. Because life is beautiful. See, when I grew up, I thought I was cursed. It was so much death and destruction around me, man. I thought I was cursed. I know so many motherfuckers in the graveyard. It's ridiculous. I know so many motherfuckers in the graveyard. I forgot some of the graveyards they buried in. And that's crazy ass shit. Ricky Taylor May said, and God is real. It wasn't your time to go, big bro. You still got a message to deliver. Thank you for that, homie. And I truly believe that, man. Let me tell you something, man. All the shit that I do, man, you know what I mean? I believe that I have a debt of service that I owe to the society and to the community at large. I'm a person, man, that, you know what I mean? I'm a giving person. I'm a loving person. And I'm a type of person that when I come down to dealing with what's going on in the community, I'm there. I'm the type of motherfucker, I feed the community, man. I do everything out of the kindness of my heart, man. I do shit, man, just to be doing it. And it's my belief that some of that is the shit to save my life because of the fact that the things that I don't do to be selfish. I do to be selfless. And it pays, man, to be a selfless individual, man, sometimes. You know what I mean? Don't always do shit and have an expectation of getting something back in return, man. You know what I mean? This world, we have to look at the world sometimes as being caretakers. And when I say caretakers, I mean we're not just looking after the world. We got to look after each other. You're going to see some people in the world, man. They're not going to have all of the resources that you're going to have. And sometimes you're going to have to share your resources. Sometimes you're going to have to reach out to the next person and give them what they don't even have a realization that they need, because you might see what they need because you might already been through what they've been through. The beauty of all of this here is the fact that you have the ability to uplift people. You have the ability to be able to reach out to the next person and better their position. Might just be a simple ass compliment. You know, I was always taught to look for the best in people. The way that I always believe is that I'm going to look for the best in you. I don't give a fuck who you are, what you're going through at this moment, because of the fact that everything that we see and everything we do is just temporary. See what I'm saying? Ain't no person the same person consistently. See, if some of y'all, if you been listening to me since I first started talking, you might not be the same person you were when the conversation started. And I say that simply because of the fact that you might have tuned in and things was one way and I was saying one thing, but then at the same time as the conversation goes on, you might have been inspired, your mind might have been changed, or you might even disagree. But what that means is that leaves room for change. That means that you're not the same person that you were consistently when you first started listening to me on this live. You understand what I'm saying? And I mean, it's real. You know what I'm saying? And we got to think about that, man. You know what I'm saying? And let me see. I'm just me. L Dub said I was listening when you talked to me on Adams Boulevard bus stop, Louisiana. I mean, hey, L Dub, you remember, man, we was out there in the trenches, man. That's when motherfuckers was out there running and gunning, man. You know what I'm saying? Slanging and banging, man. That was the way of the world at that moment, man. And the only thing I had to offer was my reality because of the fact that, you know, see, in order to help a motherfucker and save a motherfucker, homie, sometimes you can't give them money. You got to give them some reality, man. The old men always gave wisdom. I always try to do the same as they did because of the fact that I was educated and brought up on that. I was educated and brought up on the time when the old man to pull you to the side and give you some game. You know what I mean? It's different now because the motherfucker don't want to give you no game because of the fact that they think you want to compete with them. You know what I mean? Excuse me, y'all. I'm fucking with the camera again. But they think you want to compete with them. Where in reality, it ain't no competition. This shit here is about everybody getting over. You know what I'm saying? We all want to win. I want to see everybody win. So the thing about me and anybody y'all that know me know this about me. I'm the type of person that I want to see every motherfucking body win. That's why I'm gonna give everybody pointers on how to get to the finish line. I'm in the race with you, but I'm running right beside your ass, telling you what you got to do to get to the finish line. You see what I'm saying? I'm not the motherfucker running there trying to trip your feet up. I'm not the motherfucker running there, sitting there, you know what I mean, fucking with you and trying to distract you and everything else. I'm the motherfucker running right beside you, man, telling you how to pace yourself. Finish line coming up. We at the halfway point. Don't run so hard. You know what I'm saying? Keep your stride. I'm that motherfucker, but I'm running right beside you because I'm in the race too. You ain't gonna encounter too many people like that because it's too many motherfuckers in the world busy with trying to compete. But I want to see everybody win. You know what I mean? And that's just the way of the world. You see what I'm saying? And let me see here. Danielle McKnight said, I understand, homie. I had surgery earlier this afternoon to take care of yourself. COVID-19 ain't the only silent killer. I had to get my gallbladder out because it was starting to affect my pancreas. Take care of yourselves. Take care of yourself, Bob. Hey, that shit is real. That shit is serious, homie. You know what I mean? Hey, man, this is real shit, man. Take care of yourself, homie. You know what I mean? Take that time to cool out and relax, homie, because of the fact that, believe me, man, I had to do it myself, man. And, you know, I'm not used to sitting down. I'm always on the move, man. You know what I mean? And that's a reality right there, man. Once again, y'all support my platforms. www.madronaldradio.net. The Mad Ronald Radio Network podcast on Facebook. Also, you can find me at Mad Ronald Roland on Facebook. Instagram, Mad_Ronald_Roland. Don't forget bloodsandcrips.net. At the same time, madronald.com. Support all my platforms, y'all, because I got some good shit coming up. You know what I mean? I'm finna start using my Patreon and Cash App because y'all keep some good content coming because of the fact that I got some good shit coming up. But at the same time, you know what I mean? I do appreciate support from my from the followers and the listeners. You know what I mean? Because like I said, the shit that I got coming up is going to be some really good shit. At the same time, you know what I mean? I keep my content going. I got some good people coming on. It's going to be giving us up a lot of game and a lot of different perspectives. At the same time, you know, the Conscious Battleground, we got that coming back up. Me and Antoine, we're going to be doing the Conscious Battleground, and that's going to be really good. I got to get in. I think we're going to be doing that this week. And we got the Conscious Battleground coming up. What else we got, man? I got some shit coming up. Y'all know I stay busy. You know, I keep my hands full. I keep my plate full, man. You know what I'm saying? 100%. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I do things, you know. And just support, man. Follow, man. Support. You know what I'm saying? Stay up on this shit here, man, because of the fact that I'm going to keep good stuff coming. I'm going to keep you. I got to keep delivering the COVID-19 information because of the fact that, like I say, I'm a survivor of COVID-19. So I got to keep everybody up on and aware with the current information and educate people on it. And I'm gonna tell y'all something right now about COVID-19 that will help you out if you think you got it, if you're fighting it. And one of the ways to avoid going through the drastic symptoms is don't drink milk because it creates phlegm and mucus in your lungs. And the COVID-19 is an upper respiratory virus that attacks the lungs. So if you got phlegm and mucus in your lungs, it's gonna make it harder for you to breathe. Keep that in mind, y'all. You know what I mean? And on that note, y'all, I am about to sign out. Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. I'm about to sign out. I want everybody to have a good one. Be safe. Health, wealth, peace, and prosperity. Remember, Mad Ronald Roland on Facebook, Mad Ronald Radio Network Podcast on Facebook. Don't forget www.madronaldradio.net, madronald.com. and Mad Ronald Radio Vision on YouTube. Y'all support them platforms. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one. Y'all be safe. You see what I'm saying? And don't get no trouble. Mask up. Don't forget, COVID-19 is out there. It's real, man, and it's a silent killer, man. Y'all have a good one, man. I'm out.